Hello, everybody. I think this video is going to be a little bit shorter today, but Matt and I thought that we would bring a mid-spring market update to you guys and just what we're both experiencing in the field. So, Matt, do you want to start with what you're seeing on the lending side? Rates, all that fun stuff?
So I would say from 2023 till now, right, rates are the lowest that they've been. I would say on average, conventional loans are going to be anywhere from mid-high fives to low sixes, depending upon several different factors like credit score, the down payment, type of house, our debt to income ratio. So a few different factors. And then government loans like FHA and VA loans, we're still very much going to be in, probably mid fives to low fives. So contrasting that with 2023, at the height of it, conventional rates were actually getting pretty close to 8%. So we've come down, I would say, 2.5%, which is huge when it comes to your monthly payment, hundreds of dollars a month. Now, because of that, I would say the number of applications we're seeing per week have gone up, which just means more potential buyers. And with those potential buyers could possibly mean more multiple offer situations, right? More competitive, just meaning you're going to make an offer on a house and you're going to have 2 or 3 other people that have made an offer at the same house at the same time. Now, over the last couple of years, we haven't seen that, right?
Not as much.
If you made an offer, I was assuming with pretty much all of our clients that we were the only offer and we could pretty much dictate the terms. And so one, I'm seeing it's more affordable. So because payments are now down $200-$300 per month. So that $400,000 house 2 years ago is now much more affordable. We're seeing people get more used to where rates are today. And so there's just a little bit more clarity. And so we're seeing people more comfortable on the mortgage side. And then again, it is easier to qualify when you have rates in the 5s versus the 7s.
Right. I think on the client side and looking for houses, it's been kind of interesting because I do feel like some sellers have hit reality of like, we aren't in 2023 anymore. And not every buyer ever is going to knock on my door. And so you see some sellers that are very workable and they're giving concessions or they're cutting their prices, things like that. But what I'm also seeing is some sellers are kind of stuck because they came here in 2022, 2023, and they bought very high. Actually, a good friend of mine that might needed to sell their house due to life circumstances, and they're like $40K underwater. I work with a lot of buyers, and working with buyers, they're like, I don't want to offer that. Like, I get that, and that's fine, and maybe you shouldn't, but the seller might not be able to sell. Like, that's just the reality. So I am seeing some houses that are sitting for a long time, and when you start diving into the reality of why are they sitting, they're typically overpriced, but then you look at what was mortgaged or when they bought, and you're like, ooh, they're kind of stuck. So I am still seeing that. Specific to this area, I think too in DFW, because that we just had such a surge and a rush. 2023, we had people paying $100K over asking and waiving appraisal, which is just mind-blowing.
Yes.
But,
and you brought this up in another video, but we also have a lot of new builds. And so we had a ton of families buy new builds. And again, the only con maybe about a new build community is you're paying $30,000 to $45,000 more for that same house than you can get in an established community. But it comes with great incentives and amenities. And so these couples bought in 21, 22, 23, and now they're ready to sell in 26. And they're having to compete with the builder offering a lower rate because they're still building in the community. They're now on to the next phase. And so, I could pick my own finishes. All my closing costs are covered, and I can get a lower rate than the market rates today. So why would I buy your house when I can go buy a brand new one just 3 streets over?
Exactly. And then on the buyer's end, I am seeing serious buyers are like, let's go after this. Let's do what we need to do. They're getting pre-approved. They're taking all the steps that they need to do. But I think there are some buyers that have seen the slower market over the last year and a half, and they're like, I just want a deal. That's all they want. And I'm like, yes, a deal is good, but also if the house is priced right and you're getting great value and you're approved for it, we shouldn't be coming in $30K under asking. That's not healthy either. So we're seeing some sellers hit reality and doing what they can. We're seeing other sellers where they can't get out of it. And then we're seeing some very serious buyers that are excited and they're like, no, we want to pay value. Let's get after it. And then we're seeing other buyers that are like, no, I want a deal. It's a buyer's market. And I'm like, well,
that brings up a good point.
Also,
so, as someone who's either moving here or from out of state or just wanting to buy and they currently live here and they're looking at different communities, what would you say is a common denominator with all of your most successful buyer situations? Just meaning they get into the house, they're happy with the terms.
Approval with Matt. No, shame. That is a fact. Okay, so most successful in general. I will say that was a joke, but approval with a really solid lender. Anytime I meet with a first-time home buyer or just a buyer in general, you have a lender and they're like, oh, I have a buddy that does lending. And I'm like, is your buddy good though? Like, we love your buddy, but does he actually communicate, stick to timelines? Because they can really make or break it as a lender. I would also say get really clear on your vision. I see a lot of buyers come to me and this is what I want, and we start shopping and they just flounder because they didn't actually know what they wanted. And so it takes them a lot longer to find the right house, or it takes them a lot longer to pull the trigger. I've seen that as well, where they see a house and they like it, but they want to sit on it for a week or two. And then by the time you get back to that house, somebody else has put a bid on it, especially if it's a decent house, right? Again, you'll see some houses sit, but why are they sitting? And so it's the ability to really know what you want and then pull the trigger when you find it. I think that's huge. I do think having a good agent, hi, this is me. No, I'm just kidding. But a good agent is really important on both sides. The listing agent is huge. The buying agent is huge. Ultimately, I like to look at it as we're almost on a team. Obviously, I'm here to represent the buyer in this situation, talking about how to get a buyer successfully to the other side. But if we can't work with the other side to find a happy medium for all things, all negotiation, whether that be price, repairs, whatever, it's going to get very difficult to get to the end table. So having good agents on both sides of the deal are really important. Now, obviously, if you fall in love with a house and the other agent isn't great, that's okay. Like we make it through. But I think there are indicators up front when looking at a house. Do you have good agents on both sides? Are there professional photos? Are there documents already uploaded on the MLS, which I can see? Do they communicate quickly? All that kind of stuff. There's great indicators of when we go to make an offer on a house. But those are the big things. So good agents, good lenders, pre-approved, shopping within your price range, and having a vision for what you truly want and being ready to pull the trigger. I think all of those things are key to being successful.
And you brought up a good point. Maybe you could talk about it just a little bit more, but you said vision, but also having a good understanding of what they want. So I kind of hear a lot of people say like, well, we're just looking for the one. And
it's like looking for a soulmate.
Right.
If you get one thing wrong, we're all in trouble.
I can tell you from experience, we built our first house, and even months after we built it, we thought, maybe we should have actually done this. So I don't know if there's ever the one, but there is a few ones that as long as you know your wants and needs and meet your criteria, I think that's what's going to help pull the trigger. Because, I mean, as we sit here, it's March of 2026. Rates are decreasing, and they predicted that for every 1% drop in rates, so now we're 2% lower than we were 2-3 years ago, it frees up, I think they said, somewhere around 5 million home buyers. Now, that's nationwide, and not all of them are going to buy. But all that to say is there will be statistically more buyers, so multiple offers. And I think, and you just brought this up, which is if you don't know what you want and what you don't want, or sitting on it waiting for the one, you're going to find yourself eventually losing out on that house. And I think a great question is, if someone else made an offer and took this house, would we feel a sense of loss? Or would we be okay? And if it's okay, then great. You go find something else.
Would it haunt you a little bit?
Yeah, I think having that clarity is one of the biggest.
And I think not only vision, but another word came to me when you were talking about that is, what is your motivation? I think we can all have the dreams, right? Like, we cook a lot and we want a huge kitchen and the backyard has to be facing this direction so I can garden, and master bedroom has to be big enough for a king size bed, And I'm not saying those aren't things to want or to try to find. That's our goal. That's my goal as an agent, to find what you want. But I think if you understand the underlying motivation, what season of life, is this a forever home? Is this a starter home? And you're just getting in the game and you're wanting to gain equity, then I think there's maybe some things that you can let go of on your dream list if we find the house that's going to truly appreciate and has a good entry level monthly payment and value for you. Whereas if you're like, I'm relocating here and this is the house I want to be in for the next 15 years, then let's dig in. Let's figure out how we get right where you want to be. I would say another location. I see people get really, really stuck on location sometimes. And I'm not saying you need to go 30 minutes in another direction, but sometimes even going 5 to 10 minutes gets the house, the vision that you have gets the house. So if you can kind of let go of some of those parameters, keep an overall list of healthy asks, understand your motivation, what's the season of life, what's your end goal with this house, and then allow yourself to move within that
approach it
little
with a little bit of flexibility.
Yeah.
Great. So, I mean, we did talk about rates a little bit. Again,
Yeah.
we're going to be anywhere from the low fives to high fives, low sixes, depending on the program. We know that we're seeing a few more buyers, so multiple offer situations.
I think we pretty much covered buyers. You just, especially in the spring market here in the DFW area, you need to be ready to go. It isn't just like, let's go look and then we'll wait a while. I bet that'll still be on the market in a month. If it's a good house and a good location, it's not going to be. So just be ready to go. And then for sellers, presentation really does matter on every level. Professional photography, landscaping, declutter, clean. I cannot tell you how many houses I walk into that the house is fine, but the buyers can't get past the smell or there's dust in the vents. It triggers like this hasn't been maintained, what's wrong with it, things like that. So for sellers, do your due diligence, spend what you can up front to get your house ready. It's going to pay off. That'd be my biggest hint to sellers in the DFW area. There it is. We will be back soon with more. Bye, guys.